The new Xbox 360 Slim was announced at this year's E3, so it was with no small amount of excitement that we actually received the console this week. I have it in my hands here. Microsoft sent us one of the first batches of the console, which launches today at time of recording, and we've got it here to show off. So Jane, you've had a look at the machine. It certainly is quite slinky.
It's shiny,
and
isn't
shiny.
it? Yeah,
what are your overall impressions?
I like it. It's not actually, first of all, it's not called the Slim. Whatever you've heard, it's not the Xbox 360 Slim. You say it's officially, it's the Xbox 360 S. Whatever it is, it's just the new Xbox, and it's a little bit slimmer, a little bit skinnier than the previous console, but not a great deal. I think it's like 7 centimeters thick instead of 8.3 or something.
Yeah, and I think overall 17% smaller, and I think was it 2.9 kilograms over 3.5 from the Elite.
It's lost like half a kilo, so it is lighter.
Yeah.
But I mean, lightness isn't everything when it's a home console because you're not really going to be carrying it around too much.
Right.
It is very nice looking though. I wasn't completely sold on the angles when we saw it at E3, but I don't know. It's definitely grown on me, and side by side with the original Xbox, it does look a lot flashier, and it makes the old console look a bit dated and rubbish actually.
It looks like a premium piece of electronics. It's taken some of that style, I think, maybe from the PlayStation or the older model anyway. Ooh. That slinky black look.
If you say so.
So what about technically? What's new on it? What's improved?
Superficially we've got these rather nice like touch sensitive buttons, which are pretty swanky.
Make little beeps.
They do make little beeps. Very nice. As has been said, you can no longer get a red ring of death because there are no longer the kind of the ring of red LEDs in the front. What you've got instead is an indicator light in the center of the button, which can indicate when there's a hardware failure or not. And
can never escape the hardware failure, Microsoft.
Well, you've got to have something to indicate, if everything's all right or not. And there's a couple of USBs in the front, 3 USBs in the back. So that's more on. There's another beep there. There's more as on the original console.
Beeping all over.
Let's get rid of the power block there. And okay, so in the back you've got the 3 USBs, the auxiliary out, the AV, HDMI, and not a gigabit Ethernet. Is that right?
Yeah, it's still 100 base, so it's not as fast as the highest standard at the moment for Ethernet transfer, which is a bit of a problem. I remember actually trying to look at photos on my Xbox 360, and quite large files take a while to transfer sometimes. A few kind of hardcore home cinema guys were hoping that it would be gigabit Ethernet. It's not, but it is improved wireless, so you get that.
That's right, the wireless 802.11n and is built in now, which is nice. You don't have to shell out for the Wi-Fi add-on separately or have it sitting on the outside of your case, which is kind of a nice change. And there's an optical audio out if you want to hook up your stereo that way.
Yeah, that's for the guys with receivers really. If you can output digital audio and video over HDMI, but if you've got an amp or for whatever reason you just want to output digital audio separately, you can do that without needing an adapter now, which is pretty cool.
And like you were saying, there's the caddy for the removable hard drive in the back, but you've got strong feelings about the, the proprietary hard drive, right?
So when I was at E3, I remember the thing I was most excited about was this new removable hard drive, which is just under a flap on the bottom of the console. You pull it out, it comes out fairly easily. It is internal, but it comes out fairly easily. Basically, this is a 250 gig hard drive, a laptop hard drive, which is in a proprietary caddy. So you can see the connectors on it actually are very similar to what you get on an external hard drive. Internal hard drive, but it's not replaceable. So you have to still buy this Microsoft built caddy, which is a shame because I was like, oh well, I'll just drop a 500 gig hard drive in there. They sell for like 50 quid, and I'm done. I'm never going to be able to download that many demos. So it's great that it's still removable and it's fairly easy to access. But I'm really disappointed personally that you can't just drop your own 500 gig hard drive in there. But hey, you can't have everything.
Can't have everything. Can't have an HDMI cable, in fact, which is still not bundled.
Yeah, you still, in this age of high definition, you're still getting bundled in standard composite video cables in the box. You can get a HDMI cable for 2 quid, or however much you want to spend on it, really. Which is all the more reason for me to ask, well, why is it not included in the box if it's so cheap now? Also, you're going to need to buy, if you're upgrading from an old Xbox 360, you're going to need to buy a hard drive transfer kit. They are reusable now, so that's good. So if the old ones, you could use them once, but they cost £20 in the UK. So that's an added cost that you're going to have to shell out for. If you want, obviously, an AV cable, if you're still using component video, you have to buy that separately as well. But overall, 5 USB ports, that's pretty good. There's the Connect, there's the it's called AUX on here,
the Connect port, yep.
specific thing. If you're buying Connect and you've got an old Xbox 360, you're going to have to plug that into the wall. If you've got this, you can plug it straight into the console.
That's what they meant by Connect Ready.
Yeah, Connect Ready, this one. And overall, it's a nicely designed machine. For me, I'm not sure if it's worth the upgrade if you've got the old console. It's very quiet, it has to be said.
It is super quiet. We didn't mention that actually, whisper quiet apparently. But yeah, there's also a small fan in the power brick now, so that'll be making a little sound of its own. But it's still all over much quieter than the original, which is in fact a huge deal. That was my biggest complaint with the old console. So
for you, Jane, is it worth the upgrade, do you think? Or I mean, it's a no-brainer if you've not bought an Xbox 360 yet. But if you haven't got one, and why wouldn't you have one? But if you haven't, then yeah, it's never been a better time to buy one. If you've got one, then unless you really need that extra like few cubic centimeters of space, I don't know if you'd be running out to buy one straight away. But then, that said, there might be some really nice bundles when Connect launches late in the year. So keep an eye out for that. And it'll be nice not having to plug your Connect into the wall as well as into the console. So maybe consider it then. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the Xbox 360S. It's available this Friday, July the 16th, and it's £199.99.